I want to ask about some of the food places. And like I said, octopus dumplings. So was it actually octopus dumplings or was it just regular dumplings? Because we got to know. Yeah, I don't do makeup, but you never know.
That would be
My wife said that'd be funny if I did. If I did, it'd be
why not?
clown makeup.
You're not a clown.
Not yet. Star that. I'm starring my notes so I don't either repeat or go
I
back
tell you,
into
I
something.
write everything down. I write my notes down. I can do it in the phone, but it's just I don't know. I'm just old.
I realized this morning when I got up, I was like looking through it. So I had my notepad and I was writing down notes as I was rewatching. And then this was a couple of nights ago. And then this morning I was thinking, oh, I'll just go through the notes. I couldn't read most of my
So you guys are
what?
set up like Mickey Holler here. You got your notes written out on notepad, so you can
Yep.
just when you ask this question or favorite moment, you just scratch it off the list
I
like a lawyer.
know, very, very old school.
All rise. The Lincoln Law Pod is in session. On this episode of the Lincoln Law Pod, which is a part of SoManyShows.com, we'll be discussing season 4, episode 3, titled 40 Hours, which was written by Gladys Rodriguez and was directed by Antonio Negrete. Mickey and Cisco race against time to pursue a mysterious lead. Lorna scours the fine print to score a win for her client, and the firm hires a new driver. Alrighty, so joining us, we have Tarcia back from Grits and Gab. Say hello,
Nice
Tarcia.
to be back.
Yes, and then we have a new, or not new voice, but a voice we haven't heard in for quite a few years, I think, since Bosch Legacy season 2-ish, maybe. We have Valerie from Australia joining us as well.
Hello, g'day, I suppose I should say.
Yeah.
Nice to be back.
Yes, and I'm so glad you decided to join us tonight because these podcasts are fun to do and they're fun to get out, and we just want to keep the fans engaged with what our thoughts are.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Tracy and Pete and Jay, they all had to take the day off, so I'm like, hey, let's get some new friends in here and some friends we haven't heard from for a while and talk up this episode. Any of you guys had any questions written out for the group for this episode?
Well, I initially had a question around the timing towards the end of the jail and getting from Phoenix and or getting from Yuma to Phoenix back to LA. And
Yep.
I thought, okay, but I rewatched and I was like trying to figure out, okay, what are they saying? What did they say? Because at first it was like, okay, he's still in the jail at about 5, waiting to speak to Austin Nederland.
Yep.
Nederlander, whatever his name. Anyway,
Yes.
and Cisco had said the last flight out of Phoenix is 9 o'clock. So I thought, okay, when Maggie calls and he's charging his ankle bracelet, the clock was showing like 7 o'clock or something. I thought he could have time to get to the airport. Like, what's going on? But I don't know how long it would take to get to the airport, Phoenix, how long to get from Burbank to wherever he needs to get to,
Yeah, LA
and
County.
whether
Yep.
he had enough charge in that short amount of time to actually last the
Yes.
flight instead of the hour or 2 hours to actually finish the full charge. So
Yeah.
anyway,
What
I
if the
thought,
flight was delayed?
yeah,
You
well,
never
that's
know.
that's true. That's true. But I thought, yeah, because I wasn't sure about all the distance between cities and this and that. But
Yeah.
it was great though. It was fun.
Well, it made for a very tense last 15, 20
Yes.
minutes of the episode for sure. Because you got Lorna
Yeah.
calling, you got Maggie calling, you got and
And they're
everybody's
all
watching the
disgusted
clock.
with him.
They're all
Charge it,
Yeah.
disgusted
Mickey,
with him.
charge it.
Plus,
Yeah.
how long?
Yeah.
Plus, the for the timing wise, how long would it have taken them to get through TSA with that ankle bracelet on? Maybe that was another
Yeah.
Yes.
factor they were factoring in because maybe they get to the airport at 8:30 and boarding's already started, but how long will it take to get through TSA? So.
Yeah. Very true. Yes.
Okay,
But
so in the book, I know there's just slight differences, but in the book, it's Bosch who tracks down the ex-cellmate, and it's in Nevada. So I'm like, well, why didn't they stick with
Oh,
Nevada? Oh, because it's a closer drive. So they wanted to add, maybe they're adding a little bit more tension with
Bit
the
of
I
attention.
think
drive
Yeah.
back
so.
in Phoenix.
Yeah, because it definitely was a nail biter. It's just like, is he going to make it? And he throws himself over the finish line just at the
Yeah.
right moment.
Yes.
Yeah, I
But
suppose it also allows Dana to throw that dig in about it being 10 miles away from Mexico and he's
yeah,
a flight risk and all that. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
yes. But I did like Lorna's comeback. It's like, well, considering how much what happened the last time you said Mexico.
Yeah, did you want to bring that up again? You lost that
Exactly.
round.
Exactly. Tarcia, do you have any questions for the
I
group?
actually don't have any questions for this episode. It was pretty straightforward to me, but I have a ton of favorite moments, so I'll wait till
Good.
we get to
Me
that.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a moment. I just wanted to bring up, I had a question for the group.
Okay.
Figured I'd throw this question out for you guys and see if you picked up the same thing I did. When Mickey was looking over his files, he calls or he texts Maggie and Maggie calls him back. But he was eating some kind of dumplings or whatever. I'm thinking to myself, are those the octopus dumplings that he got in season 2 or tried to get in season 2, but Maggie had gotten the last order? Did you guys think the same thing? Did
I
you think that?
absolutely did not.
Okay.
I did not.
I don't know. I just saw his food. I was like, oh, that looks
It
good.
did
Yeah.
look good. 'Cause I love dumplings, so that looked very good. But I'm with you, Valerie. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that looks good. But no. See, Mike, you're a deep thinker. I didn't even go that far back.
Well, for me, it's like I love these callback moments because it reminded me because he's talking to Maggie on the phone, and the last time we see them
Yeah.
eating these dumplings or him eating these dumplings is when him and Maggie were having this great conversation in Echo Park. So I thought maybe as a callback, so I will ask the
Yeah.
showrunners at some point here, and hopefully we'll get an answer for the podcast at some point, and we'll pass that information on.
Could have
So yeah,
been, a reminder for him, some nostalgia with Maggie. So,
yes. And that was a nice conversation, but hopefully we'll cover it with some favorite moments here. So,
Yeah.
Tarsha, you said you had a bunch, so how about you jump in
I
with
have a
some of your favorites?
list.
You had a
And
list.
I'm sure we can't get to all of them, but Lorna, when they were at the courthouse and she called Izzy and told her to do a background check on Bamba. And so Izzy is like, well, did you do a background check on me? And Lorna said, no, of course not. Cisco did it.
Good did.
I just love that moment, the way she delivered that line. It was just great.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just going to jump in here just really quickly with how well she delivers lines. Becky Newton as Lorna, Lorna as
Oh,
Yes,
she's
Becky.
amazing.
she
She's
is.
amazing because there was a scene that I picked up, and it's when she's meeting with the insurance company, and she just straight face says they're having sex in the back of the car, back seat of the car, just straight face and everything. I'm like,
Yes.
how many takes did it take for her to even get that out with a straight face? Because it was just deadpan. Yeah, they're having sex in the car.
I had that as one of my favorite moments at the insurance company. The
Yep.
whole, like when the lawyer for the insurance company said, but she's not even listed as, the driver. And I mean, literally they weren't driving. So technically there was no claim as such because they didn't have an accident in the
Yep.
car. So that was like the whole point of it.
Mhm.
So it's like,
Yes.
yes, very good. And incidentally, when she said the husband's name was Tom Baker, I don't know if anyone watches Doctor Who, but he was the number 4 doctor.
That's right.
I didn't used to watch the original series.
Yeah, neither have I.
That's quite old. But so I had to look up exactly which number he was just to get my facts straight. But as soon as they said Tom Baker, I was like, oh, Doctor Who.
And to kind of piggyback off that scene too, I just wanted to bring up that we finally got we kind of got like a definition of subrogation.
Subrogation.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
because Tracy was asking about that, and I said I might define it, but I thought it would come back up in the other episode of this next episode, and it did.
Yeah.
So we get the Lorna definition, which I'll read off here. So the insurance company can now turn around and go after Tom, the responsible party, because there was negligence involved due to him. And Valerie, I'm pretty sure you like this term, knocking boots with anything that moves or walks by. So.
Yes.
So I looked up the subrogation definition by myself just to see, but like I was worried about it. It's kind of legalese. So it goes, the subrogation definition is the substitution of one person or group by another in respect of a debt or insurance claim accompanied by the transfer of any associated rights and duties. So it kind of just reads like lawyerese.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, okay, I don't understand the definition. Maybe somebody out there does. Lorna obviously did. So so it worked for her.
Kind of made me, if you get to speak to the writers, like if how they came up with this twist. I don't know if this was in the book, like in
Mhm.
terms of, I
Yeah.
don't know if Celeste was in the book.
No.
If the way that she came up with this solution to the let's get some money from somewhere,
Something. Yeah,
because the prenup was so watertight that
Yes.
she
yeah.
wasn't likely to get anything. Let's get you something. And I'd love to know how many zeros are, on that
She's
Same.
check.
a smart cookie.
But yeah,
Well,
but yeah, that was,
she's not there quite yet because Celeste calls her a genius.
yeah, yes,
She's clever.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, very much so. Thinking outside the box.
Well, she's learned from the best, So
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
another moment that I liked was another Lorna moment related to the whole sex in the car of an STD thing is when she was talking to Maggie about, a wife getting an STD from her husband and blah, blah, blah. And Maggie's like,
Yeah.
what? Oh,
yeah,
no, not me. It's a
Yeah.
client. Again, her delivery was just fantastic because she was just so matter of fact about it. It's just like, are you talking about yourself? But
yeah.
she had a great week. I think Lorna
Oh,
had a great week in this episode.
must have been fun with some of these scenes that, like I said, like we were talking about earlier, how everybody's painted. Lorna's got her just staring at the phone as Mickey and Cisco are
Mhm.
making their way back from Phoenix. So, Valerie, you got another one you want to bring up?
Well, I had a couple of favorite awkward moments.
Go ahead.
Awkward moment when Maggie and Jack arrive unannounced at their office. So that was just, that whole meeting was
Yes.
awkward.
Yes.
And then later on, when Mickey is just left alone with Jack, and Jack is like, oh, how's the case going? Blah, blah, blah. And then he just goes, what's the worst that can happen?
That's down is one of my favorite moments.
He's like,
well, I could get the death
I'm
penalty.
facing a murder charge. Like, even without the death penalty, I could go away for life. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Exactly.
He's just not very good with small talk, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. When
And
they
I know
brought up
you guys were not big fans of Jack from listening to the episode last week. I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt because I sort of try to think, well, if this story was actually told from Jack's point of view, you'd be thinking, why is this a-hole of an ex-husband still hanging around, kind of thing? Like, that's what you think. But now, he's shown the other side, which is, I'm just super awkward now.
yes.
Well, also the thing too is when he gets there and he sees, he's like, okay, so you're an ex-wife too. It's just like there's something about Mickey that these women just can't get away from.
Yes.
And Lorna, she doesn't have children with him, but she's still very much in there, with him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And daily. So,
Yeah.
Well, he's so
So he has
handsome.
reason to be jealous, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, like we've said in the past with Maddie, no boyfriend was good enough for Maddie, other than maybe Tom Galligan, I think, or Tom, whatever his last name
Yes.
was. Pete always liked him. I'm like, no, I didn't like him
No.
either. Even though he didn't throw Maddie under the bus when he discovered that she had been sneaking his files and stuff like that. But no, nobody's good enough for Maddie, so nobody's good enough for Maggie other than the perspective other, as in
Yeah.
Mickey. So, all right. So you guys had a couple of there. So I wanted to bring up a favorite moment of mine.
Okay.
With how intense the ending of the episode was, where Mickey and Cisco are trying to make it back, car runs out of gas. I love that the last line of the episode was effing holler, and it came from
Yes.
Maggie. It's the last two words that are uttered in the episode.
I literally clapped because it always reminded, we were always talking about when we were watching Bosch. I think there was a clip that was done that was everybody saying effing Bosch that
Yes.
ran for like 30 seconds. And it just
Minimum.
reminded me of that. And I just thought, this is the best.
That
Yes.
was great. That was great.
Plus, it was just how she couldn't relax until she got that thumbs
She
up
could
from
not
Mickey.
sleep. Yeah.
So it was just a way of kind of going, just take a deep breath. It's all good now. So go ahead,
And that's
Tarcia.
another sign to me too that the love and the care is still there. She's still waiting up and concerned. I mean, it has a
Mhm.
lot to do with her daughter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her dad could be put away if go back to jail if he doesn't make it back in time. But she was genuinely concerned and couldn't sleep until she got the word.
Yeah, it was definitely looked uncomfortable at times there. So
Very. And that before that moment, one of my other favorites was Mickey when he was at Tia's house.
yeah.
When they were waiting to get the ankle monitor charged. And when they get to the house, you just assume that this big, rough, tough guy that answers the door is the felon, and it ends up being the auntie.
Yes.
I know. I would like to know what she's
Me
like
too.
she's convicted of or whatever that she's under house
Yeah,
arrest.
she's a felon and she's giving tips on how to, cheat the time on the bracelet to get
Yeah.
a little bit more charge out of it. I'm like, what? And she looks so
Mike,
sweet.
please ask
I
the
love
writers
that moment.
if that's a proven fact. The whole
With the
foil
with the
thing.
foil thing.
And does
I
it work with like your phone and other things? Because I'd like to know. I mean, it might be
don't know.
easier to carry a bit of foil.
Well, I know with phones, I think the easiest way to gain more batteries is put it in airplane mode. So no tinfoil
Oh, well,
involved with
yeah.
that one. But yes,
Yeah.
I'll throw that down as a question. Alrighty. Valerie, you got another favorite awkward moment still, or is it?
No. I just suddenly, as you were talking, as I've just suddenly remembered about the background checks. So most of, if not all of Mickey's past drivers have all been his former clients,
Mhm.
just paying off their debts. So does that mean they've never done background checks on them because they basically already know them? And in that case, why did Lorna really need Cisco to do a background check on Izzy, given she was also a former client, wasn't she? Yeah, she was. No.
Well, she was a new client.
I have a feeling Lorna did them on everybody.
Yeah, I
We
had a
just
feeling
know
too.
about Izzy because
He just didn't
she
know.
specifically asked. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But
true.
that's another favorite moment when he's riding in the car with Bamba, the green Cadillac, and it's just
Oh, yeah.
herky jerky, and he's listening to the music and the just the faces that Mickey was making when he was listening to that music. He's just like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
what is this? Can you turn that down? That was
Yeah,
just funny to me.
I think we all had that little side eye look to it because I'm going to save my response to that for the character spotlights
Okay.
segments. So
Okay.
yeah, that was still a funny moment. I'm not a fan of Bamba yet. He hasn't impressed me yet.
Really?
But like I
I
said,
think, I just think they're trying to incorporate, bring in a new character, the driver, and they're just trying to give him some kind of story,
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'll get into it in the
But
character spotlights. So
Yeah.
go ahead,
yeah,
Valerie.
but all that also I just suddenly remember now when Lorna met Bamba and she said, "Oh yes, I know you. My husband brings protection money to your girlfriend so that you would keep Mickey from
Mickey
getting
safe.
shipped in
Yes.
prison."
Yes.
And I thought, oh, well, that would explain why Bamba was actually protecting him. It wasn't because he was essentially getting paid for it.
Yes, that part is in the book too, is that Bomba's paid weekly by Cisco to the girlfriend
Yeah.
each week to keep Mickey safe in prison. But we kind of brought that up in episode 1. It's like, what was he doing when the guy pushed him off the table in episode 1? It's
Yeah.
like he was up in his cell.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. He said he was looking, he had eyes on everything, but it's like,
No,
I
you
don't know.
didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Alrighty. One thing I wanted to bring up too was the scene in the prison where Mickey meets with Austin, and we find out that Austin, the only reason Austin brought him or okayed the visit was because he wanted to kill Mickey. He wanted to kill the guy responsible for Sam Scales' murder. But it's like when Mickey had to convince him, I didn't
Right.
kill him, I was set up, and the whole back and forth. Well, that's what everybody in here says, and I didn't
Yeah.
think he'd actually convince this guy because Austin just looked really super mad. So I'm kind of glad his hands were chained to the table because otherwise Mickey wouldn't have been able to turn his or change his mind, So
Yeah.
so him being able to change Austin's mind to and also got information out of it. Hey, we find out that Kirk Lennon is the name that Sam Scales was using before his murder. Good scene.
Well, It was kind of a sweet scene to me also because he's asking him, did you like Sam,
Yes.
and then towards the end when Mickey was leaving, I just want you to get whoever killed my friend. So he had a love for Sam, that was his buddy. So
Yep. Well, plus they were planning on working together when they got out.
oh yeah,
Or
one more
when he
big
got out.
heist.
Yes.
Yeah. Set a score for life. All righty, who's got another favorite moment? Tarcia, you got another one?
I guess this would work, but the first one I wrote down was when Mickey and Lorna arrived at court and they went through security and everybody's staring at them and Lorna's just like, yeah, we know we're pretty, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Again, another Lorna moment. So
Lorna had so many good lines in this episode.
she did.
But I like how he's getting, or how him and the guard seem to know each other and they speak the same
We
language.
speak the
So it's
same
kinda
language, yeah.
nice to see that. As for me, another favorite moment, favorite scenes is I'm a sucker for the camera shots. I said in episode 2, I've said it in episode 1. The opening scene of this episode where you kind of get that overhead view of the criminal courts building or the where the courthouse is. It looks almost like a model.
It does. It
How
does.
well these shots are done. So I that's on my list of questions to ask is, was there any models used for these aerial shots or anything? Because they just look so cool.
Can I just say, as an aside, the very first time I ever went to LA was in 1995, December. So it's been 30 years.
Okay.
And it was still just smog land.
Okay.
Like you go there and you hear about, I'm from Australia, like I see sunshine all the time. I see blue skies and sunshine. I go to LA, I see smog. Like
Yes.
it's just, you look up and it's like, oh, that's really smoggy. But clearly it's a lot cleaner now, the air, because I know about, I think 2013, I did a big trip to LA. Went to Griffith Observatory and had that beautiful view. And I was like, I can actually see the city now. I'll bet if I had come here 20 years earlier, it would have just been smog. And then if I could see below that, I might see a bit. So, so I love these beautiful shots of the city when there's nice clear skies.
Yes. I want to add to that. When we did our family trip last June, we met with Gregory Scott Cummings and a few other actors. Greg was telling us how that we kind of timed it out a little poorly with our trip because at that time of the year it's known as June gloom, where it's it's not smoggy, but there's like a marine layer over the city until it doesn't clear out until like afternoon, but then it rolls back in at night. So we kind of had that experience because we were trying to get a good picture of us in front of the Hollywood sign. But when we got up there at night, it was kind of getting that smoke layer, the fog layer to it. So it was like, it wasn't as good as because when my kids and my oldest two and I went out there, it was October. It was nice weather, sunny skies. I mean, we took a bunch of pictures up on the Hollywood sign, and that's a hike, I got to tell you. Hoofda. But so kind of times it depends on what time of the year you go out too, is when you'll get those blue sunny skies. And it was sunny for the most part. Like I said, just the morning and the evenings, kind of that fog layer rolled back in. So any other moments, favorite? Or
nope, I've given my list.
No, I guess it's just, one of those things where when they had Drucker, I mean, every time I see Drucker, I just want to smack his face. He's just so smug and so, we've caught you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just, look at his face. He's just got one of those faces that you just go, I don't trust the word you say. I reckon you saw the wallet and you just hit it. And maybe, I do trust that Dana has not been playing dirty for in this case. Can't say for everything, but in this case, I do trust that she didn't know that there was possibly a wallet missing.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and that she wouldn't have been trying to hide it deliberately, but it was like, you testify to that, and then you go, I can't say that that's a wallet. But these days, who doesn't have a wallet or a phone? At least one of those two items on yourself, on your body. Like when you leave the house, it's keys, wallet, phone.
Yes.
I don't
But
necessarily always have my wallet because I've got digital everything on my phone,
Right.
but this guy, they found his body without those two items and they didn't
Yeah.
think it was suspicious.
Well, it's like
So
the Adam Sandler song, phone, wallet, keys, phone, wallet, keys.
exactly.
Don't
Go
leave
listen to
phone
the song if
down.
you haven't heard it before. But I agree with that because, and also on top of that, it was the fact that, well, like you said, he's got that very slappable, arrogant face of his,
Yes.
and how then I like how they explain it when they came back from the lunch break, and then the detective's like, "Yes, there was a wallet there, and I can see it now," and blah blah blah, and it just went missing. So I like how Lorna and Mickey kind of were talking about explaining that they had to protect his testimony to keep his what's the word they used?
Credibility.
Credibility. Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep his credibility during the trials.
Mhm.
So, because I think jurors get access to all these hearings that take place before the trial actually starts too.
Mm.
So I got one more thing to bring up. I like how in this episode there was so many uncomfortable elevator rides. Kind of like
Oh my God. I love the ride with Mickey, the two ex-wives and Jack. That was
yeah.
fantastic.
And you don't see the whole ride. You just see Maggie push the button,
No.
wait about
And
5 seconds, and
Izzy's
then she's
like
pushing
going,
it again. It's like so you
yeah,
don't see the whole
Izzy's
ride.
like, I would take the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he even warned? Did I take the stairs? But it was also at the beginning of the episode where they're doing the elevator ride up to the courtroom, and the lady that's standing in front of Mickey kind of does the, slow turn back and then slowly turns back to the front.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on.
And actually, in that very shot, it occurred to me how tall Manuel Garcia-Rulfo is
He
because
is
he was
gigantic
like
compared to
a head
everyone.
taller than everybody else in the lift. It's like
Even in the scene with
he's
the
just
four
very
of
tall.
them, I mean, Lorna just looks, Becky is just
Yes.
tiny. But compared to the other man, I mean, he just towers over everybody in those
Yeah.
scenes except for
Yep.
Cisco.
Well, see, it depends on the camera angle. Sometimes Cisco looks even a little bit shorter than Mickey, even though in the books he's like towers over Mickey.
Yeah.
So I think Manuel's like 6'2", maybe. I think I looked it up at one point.
He seems like he's taller than that, but I guess everybody around him is just smaller or shorter. Yeah.
Or like I said, camera angles, you never know.
Yeah.
And I think
I
we
do.
touched on it briefly, just that conversation between Maggie and Mickey when she was at the basketball game saying everybody's worried
Yes.
about you. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, I mean, like we were saying before, it's like you can still feel there's love there and stuff. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Valerie.
Well, as soon as she said she was going to a basketball game, and Mickey just gave her that look like, "You're going to a Lakers game?" And she's like, "Yeah, Jack's got a skybox, so nice fancy thing." And yes, we're going to basketball. And then you find out just how much she hates basketball when she calls him.
Yes.
Right.
And that she just makes that excuse, "Oh, I'll join you later. I'm just going to make a quick call."
Yep.
And Mickey knows that. So again, there's that history. That's why he's just like, really?
Yeah.
Of course, in Maggie's defense, I'll say this. Okay, so soccer's not a sport I'll go watch on a regular basis. I'll go to a football game, baseball game, basketball, hockey. So if somebody treated me to skybox tickets at a soccer game,
And
I
yeah.
think I'd go
Yeah.
too if there's a food buffet.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez.
Yeah. And the Lakers, I'd definitely go.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
Lakers
think
game.
I would go to pretty much anything if there was a skybox
Yes.
on offer.
Yes, exactly. I'll
Yeah.
go see cricket if there's a skybox
Oh.
involved. So no more favorite moments?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So
No,
I'm
I
going to jump
think
in with my character spotlight because I know I got you, just like this episode, on the edges of your seat waiting to hear what I had to say about Bamba Bishop here. So,
Oh, here we go.
yes. So, okay. So, Valerie, you don't remember the book, what this season was based off of. Tarcia, you never read the Lincoln Lawyer books, but the version in the book of Bamba is much, much better. He's straightened up his life. His girlfriend has a kid, and it's his kid, so he wants to do right by him, right? All I saw in this episode was him just wanting to listen to music and bounce Mickey around the car and put him in the hospital, pretty much. The way he listens to the music too loudly, and the way that, like you said, Mickey's kind of looking over at him, like when he's trying to make phone calls, and Bomba's saying, "Boy, you're really killing my vibe," when he has to turn the music down. It's like, oh my gosh. And the car. Okay, I get it's a lowrider, but slow down on city streets, please.
Yeah.
So I don't think they did a good enough background check on his driving abilities.
Ah,
And on
Or
top of
its
that,
taste in music.
or his taste, well, taste in music is fine. I'm a fan of all genres of music. So I like how he was trying to sing along and mumbling through most of it, but it was still fun. He's out of prison.
Yeah.
He's trying to enjoy his music. That's fine. But just the driving on top of it and not turning the radio down when Mickey's got to make these phone calls. And we've seen two incredible drivers over the first three seasons between
yes.
Izzy and Eddie. They
Mm.
both were looking out for Mickey right from the start. I mean, so when you go from that and you get this whole total opposite mirror version of that with Bamba, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I hope he straightens out. I really do.
I think he will. I think he will
I hope
because when they
so.
were at the courthouse and Mickey gave him the job, you could see that he really was grateful for the opportunity to
Yes.
to to do something. So we'll see. I
Yes.
just think he's rough around the edges, and so was Izzy,
Yes.
and we've talked about that. Izzy was really rough around the edges, and being around Mickey and Lorna and Cisco, she's turned everything around. So
Yeah.
I hope that he will too.
Yep.
But
I
we'll
don't know
see.
if either of you ever watch anything with subtitles on. I tend to do that a
Always.
lot.
Oh, always.
And
Always.
when he was singing, it just goes singing gibberish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I keep my subtitles on because sometimes I'm to the point now where I can't hear if the subtitles aren't on, if that makes sense.
Exactly. No, it makes perfect sense to me. Like you, I can't hear if I can't read it.
That's why I'm reading it.
I
All
think
right.
they're great though, especially if sometimes if it's supposed to be like a radio that's playing in the background and they're talking. Because some episodes of Bosch they did that where they might be sitting in the car and then there's something playing on the radio, someone talking, and you can't hear what it's saying, but
Yes.
you think it might be significant. And then but they do show it on in the subtitles and I go, oh, that's good.
Mhm.
Now I know what they're saying without having to turn up the sound really loudly so that you
Yes.
can hear what's going on the radio. So yeah, I just got really used to by
Yep.
default. I just have the subtitles on as well. But I always have a laugh when they do stuff like singing gibberish or
Yes.
speaking in a different language.
Yes.
So,
The
Mike, is
speaking
your
Spanish.
character spotlight Bamba? Who's your character spotlight this week?
That was my character spotlight
That is
because
just so Bamba is
so
your
in a negative light for me because we can do negative or positive
right,
characters.
Mhm.
right.
So
Okay,
I decided to
okay.
do the negative one. I'm usually Mr. Positive, Mr.
Gotcha,
Glass half full,
gotcha.
as
Well,
Pete
that's
would say.
legit.
So,
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah.
absolutely legit. So we'll have to
Yeah.
see what happens with him.
Yes. So I'm hoping it turns around. I really do. All right. So you guys
Well,
go ahead.
well, I figured someone else would be picking Lorna, so I thought let's talk about Judge Stone
Thank you.
I'm
because
glad you did that.
I
Yeah.
think he's actually doing quite a good job because they always say, you got to pick your judge because you think they might be more pro prosecution or more prone defense. And he seems to be fairly, like, so far, he's given crap to both of them.
Yes.
So he's been quite fair.
Yep.
Although I still wonder about the leniency in terms of letting Mickey go outside of LA to go to Yuma. But I
Well, it's
mean,
his life. It's
yeah,
his life on the line,
yeah. So yeah, I think he's been doing a pretty good job. He tells them like it is. It's like, well, no, you've had your turn. You've had your go. You opened that door. So now this is what's going to happen. And I've
Mhm.
warned you, Dana. This is Discovery. This, that. So I think, yeah, I quite like Judge Stone.
And
Yes.
even the actor playing him, he's one of those character actors where you don't know the name offhand, but he's been
In
in TV
everything.
shows forever. I mean, I can remember seeing him as a child and stuff when he was much younger. I mean, he's one of those faces, that has been around for years and he's always been working. You just don't know him by name. So shout out to
Yes.
him because this is a pretty significant role for him.
Plus the voice. I always like the characters that have the deep voice, the authoritative voice. So
Mhm.
it's kind of cool to hear that. Just like Valerie was saying, it's like how he is playing both sides, gives them a time limit of 48 hours to find the wallet, and you better not come back empty-handed. I love that line there.
Right.
But also, because that's what I thought the title of the episode was 40 hours. I thought maybe that was a timer for the wallet to be found.
Mm.
Then when they come back to it, it's that the lifespan of that ankle bracelet. I'm like, oh shoot, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. 40
So
hours.
40 hours. And then Lorna asking Izzy to go out and buy 3 more chargers for
Oh,
her
I
that
love
charge her
that. So
bracelet
he has
twice.
one everywhere because it's just like our phones. We have a charger at work. We have a charger in the car. And that's what Mickey needs. If he's
Yes.
sitting down
I
somewhere, it needs to be plugged in.
Yes.
I did like the warden in the jail who said, "Well, we don't have a charter because we don't need them.
Yeah.
Everybody's already got
They're here.
Yes.
Where are they
that makes
going?
sense."
They're all locked up. We know where everybody is.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Tarcia. Go ahead and
Well, you
wow
already
us
know
with
my
your
character spotlight, and I spilled the beans earlier. It's Lorna. I just
yes.
thought she had a great week. Just some of the best lines and delivery. And Becky, that plays her, is just a fantastic actress in this series. I loved everything about Lorna this week.
Well, plus Becky
I
is
love her every week.
yes. Well, every
Yeah,
episode
but
every
I mean,
week.
this week in particular, since we're on 3, I
Yes.
just really feel like, she just really had a great week in terms of she had a lot of airtime and just great lines she was given this week.
Yeah, just right from the start, it's like, I know we're pretty. No need to
Yes.
stare. I know you mentioned it earlier, but it's the tone of her voice, it's that delivery. I mean, but
Perfect delivery.
alrighty. Did anybody else have any other notes, or did you want to say anything about Lorna, Valerie, that you liked specifically?
Oh, I love her. I want to know where she buys her clothes. I want to know where she gets her hair done. I want to know how she can walk in those heels.
Oh, true.
How she can still think when she's had zero sleep, and she is definitely burning the candle at both ends because she's just trying to keep the business afloat, and she's
Yeah,
trying
she's
to,
doing it.
save Mickey
Mhm.
and all of that. Yeah, she's amazing. She's doing it all. And
She is.
I know that the whole Legally Blonde thing was in the previous episode. I was like, yeah. And so what's wrong with that? Like,
Yes,
really legally blonde. She proved herself to be very, very smart, and she
exactly.
can look amazing as well.
That's
So
right.
why are you underestimating her?
Exactly. Well, like I said in the mashup podcast with Pete and I, you can check that out on YouTube as well as the so many mashups. Is I mentioned burning the candle at 6 different ends because she is trying to do all those things where it's like
Hmm.
it's not just at 2 ends where she's trying to keeping
Yeah.
Mickey out of prison, keeping the business afloat, doing this, that, taking on divorce cases. So it seemed like it's just all coming to a head. So I
She's
hope
doing it all. Personal
yes,
injury, she's doing
Yeah.
everything.
yes, that's
Yeah, I
right.
mean,
She
she's got trying
might
to keep
try to
the
get
lights
another
on.
client. Yes,
Yeah,
might be getting another client from Jack because they're trying to find a
yeah.
personal injury lawyer. Yeah.
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 Oh, so many good moments from this episode. And like I said, it was
Hmm.
just those last 10, 15 minutes where you're just on the edge of your seat. And the fact that one more thing I just wanted to bring up here was Cisco saying Michael, calling Mickey Michael in the car.
Yes.
Yes,
It's like,
yes, I
I made a
love that.
judgment call, Michael. It's
Yes,
like, because
I
they're
caught
running low on
that.
gas.
I
Yeah,
love that.
so
And Cisco being such a big guy driving the little mini,
yes.
and I just love it.
All righty, let's get to our Sparks meters for us all here. I'll let our guest of the evening, Valerie, why don't you go first?
I think the first time I watched it was probably a 4, but then when I rewatched it, and the more I paid attention to some of the, many special moments that we spoke about today, I'm giving it a 4.5.
Nice.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Same. Tarsha, what do you have?
I have a 4.5 written down here.
Wow.
It's not quite I mean it was a good show, but it's still not to me yet. The episodes haven't gotten to like some of the previous seasons where like from the beginning to the end I was just completely drawn in. So it hasn't like done that for me yet. So I'm giving it a 4.5. It was a solid show, but I can't give it a 5.
Okay. See, that's just it. With these shows, sometimes you hit a specific episode number where it's like, I got to power through and watch the rest of the season. That point hasn't hit for me yet either, because it's like, even with how tension filled this episode was, it
Hmm.
was, yeah, I still jumped to the next episode, but I'm like, it was a really good, solid episode, really kept me into it right to the end. So I gave it a 4.75 just
Okay.
because of that tension, because you don't know what they're going to change up from the book to the show. So it's like, was Mickey going to make it back late and have to either go explain himself to the judge or be rearrested, So you never know where things are going to quite find their footing there. So that was my Sparks meter and your
Okay.
Sparks meters. So it is game time.
Yay.
Everyone knows how much I love trivia, so I came up with some trivia questions from this episode
Okay.
instead.
This should be fun.
So, yes. Now, next time, if I get you guys on again, I'll probably have us each come up with a few trivia questions each. Throw license plates or addresses at me. I don't care. I didn't do that. I try to keep it low key, try to keep it at levels of like on a scale of 1 to 5.
Okay.
I try to keep it at like a 2 to 3 on the difficulty level. So it depends on how close you're paying attention. Alrighty. Which baseball team is Jack on staff with? Not seeing any hands yet.
Well,
Tarcia, I saw her hand first.
It's not
Go
the
on, Tasha.
Dodgers.
Not the Dodgers.
Dang it. That's what-
Padres.
Padres. Valerie, you get the point there.
I remember
that.
Mickey saying at the last second, the Dodgers. He was like, no, gotcha.
Nice job, Valerie. 1 point for you. Alrighty, when Dana was questioning Kent Drucker, the very slappable face guy, on the stand, Mickey says that Sam changed his identities as often as most people changed what?
This should be obvious, and I want to say something, but I don't want to say.
There you go ahead, Tasha.
No, because you'll pick up the slacking at the point.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just underwear.
Nope.
See, that's why I didn't say.
I was just gonna say clothes, but
No,
I
but
don't think
Tarcia, do you have something
I was
else?
going to say their minds.
Nope. Shoes.
Oh,
I don't know. Okay.
As often as most people change their shoes. Alrighty, what did Tia, that's the aunt that has the ankle monitor on her, by the way, bake up for everyone to have as a dessert? Tarcia.
Brownies.
Yes.
And they
that
did
didn't
not have
the-
weed in them.
Yes, they did not have the weed in them.
I can remember food.
Yes, food is always a good thing. Okie dokie. So next question. Cisco went to Arizona to track down a former cellmate of Sam Scales. Where in Arizona did Cisco call Mickey from? Valerie.
oh, Yuma.
Yuma, that's right. Okie dokie. Speaking of food, so Izzy and Mickey are going to go to a meeting. Izzy decided to go to the Highland Park meeting for which better snack dessert stuff?
Doggone it, Mike.
Sorry.
Don't know.
It was something Mexican, right?
Think breakfast item.
Pancakes?
Donuts.
Oh,
They had better
I don't remember
donuts.
that. Okay.
I don't.
It was only said once. I just threw it on there just as a thing. I'm sorry, my questions are too high.
No, it's fun. It's a challenge.
I
It
agree.
is a challenge.
Alrighty. What kind of sports medicine does Jack do? Tarcia?
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
Bingo. Nice job. Next question. Mickey may have tipped off one of the reporters who showed up to the discovery motion. Valerie?
Casey Montoya.
Yes.
Was that
Good
the
job.
question?
I knew that one.
Not even halfway through asking.
See
So,
her
yes,
walking
so-
into the courtroom, sitting on the back row.
Yes. What's kind of cool about that's why I included this question is because she's a real life news reporter for Channel 5. So it's cool. I like how they use real people in the show. So.
Yes.
Alrighty. This one probably at scale of 1 to 5 is probably a 4, but I threw it in here just as a case. So what is Judge Stone's first name? Tarcia.
Oh.
I know this is wrong. I'm going to say Lionel.
No, you got it right.
Oh, I thought, okay.
You are.
I don't know where I got that from. Maybe I heard it in there somewhere and it registered.
Well, it's when the deputy calls the court to session. I'm like, ooh, I got to throw that in as the question. So, and let's see here. You guys are tied up at 3 apiece. So I'm
Oh,
hoping.
wow. Okay.
So this will be the last question here. Lorna thinks she comes up with a new name for Dana Berg. However, Mickey says he's heard it before. Valerie.
Dead-Eye Dana.
Dead-eyed Dana.
I knew that one.
Valerie was
It's not
put there
even
on
a
the-
good name. Yeah, I don't like that name.
Hey, that was great job by both of you. So the score was 4-3.
That was fun.
Oh,
That was
very
awesome.
tight
Tarcia, you
one,
did
yes.
great that time. I'm hoping you feel
Yay.
more better about it than the quote game, I hope. So it'll probably be a little while
quote
before I
game
bring
was
the
hard.
quote game. Yes, I know. Well, like I said when we were playing, it's like if there were longer sentences that I put in, you kind of get it a little bit better.
You can tell who's
You can
saying it
sort
by
of
the line. Yeah.
Picture the scene. That's what you have
Yes.
to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, it'd be a dead giveaway if I actually just recorded the audio and just played the audio for you guys. It would throw it off because it's
Absolutely.
like, well, that's Cisco. I can hear it in his voice, you know.
And I
So,
don't
but
like his voice, by the way. I'm sure that's an unpopular opinion, but his voice drives me crazy.
I like Cisco's voice.
Cisco.
Valerie,
It drives me
break the tie,
crazy.
Valerie. What do you say?
Well, I love him. So, he's just got that very dry, monotone voice and
Gruff.
he does yeah,
Gravelly.
yeah.
That's
And
what.
I think he lowers his register a bit in this and makes it a little bit more gravelly. Because I don't know if I don't know what the real live Cisco sounds like. So maybe that's what he actually sounds
Yeah.
like, and he's
Could
just
be.
trying to imitate him a little bit. But I don't know.
Okay. About that though, because it's like it was fun because when he said Michael, it's like you don't hear it from somebody saying like, gravelly and gruff and everything. It's like
Right.
for Michael to come out
Exactly.
instead of Mick or Mickey, this type of thing. But the other thing was when they show up at the Aunt Tia's house and the guy who answers the door is like, yeah, we
Oh
got a
yeah,
got a guy in a
Hell's
suit
Angel.
and a Hell's Angel out here, and it's
You're
Road
like,
Saints actually.
Road Angel.
And that'll wrap up our discussion about this episode of The Lincoln Lawyer. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Lincoln Law Pod, which is a part of So Many Shows and SoManyShows.com. Our website is currently undergoing some maintenance, and as soon as it's back up and running, please make sure to keep checking the website for updates, recaps, and other podcasts from this show and others. For the time being, you can find this podcast and others on the So Many Shows YouTube channel. While there, keep an eye open for our constantly dropping mashup podcasts in which we discuss a variety of shows. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, be sure to follow us on our socials. At Lincoln Law Pod, all one word, at Twitter and Instagram. You can also find up-to-date news and podcast drops on the Lincoln Lawyer Lounge on the Facebook group page. We will reconvene as soon as possible for the next episode, so stay tuned. And with that, it's time for everyone to say goodbye. Great job by everybody in this episode. Great job by
Yay.
you guys tonight. Valerie, I can't thank you
Yay.
enough for jumping in today. This is
That's
super
okay.
awesome.
Goodbye. See you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone. Talk to you on the next one. As a note, added bonus, during our conversation, Valerie discussed her experience at a cricket match at one point. So we're going to play that audio now as a final goodbye to everyone. Enjoy.
Can I tell you, and you can cut this bit out, but yeah, I've been to cricket and I didn't go to Skybox. I don't understand cricket. I mean, I've tried. Cricket is obviously a very big sport, very popular in Australia. So a couple of years ago, I have been to some games, and those games, they last for days. Some of them last,
Oh,
some
wow.
tournaments go for days, right? And I used to think, oh my God, it's so boring. You sit there, and most of the time you just see these guys just keep getting up to go and get beers. So, you're trying to watch something and they'll just get up, walk past you, go get beers, come back with a tray. And then because they've drunk so much beer, they need to get up again and go to the bathroom. And then they'll come back. Oh, no, I'm going to get more beers. So to me, that was what cricket was like. And
Okay.
then when you see the footage, so we actually halfway through I don't know, there were people who started doing beer snake. I don't know if you know what beer snake is. It's people who collect all the empty beer cups and they just put them all together into a big snake.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that's what it was
basically
called.
just involves many people in your area, right? Because when it gets to, I don't know, 10 meters long, it's basically everybody in your area is doing that. The other thing that people do is they bring inflatable beach balls and they just start bouncing them. Like you'll probably never get them back because once you start,
They do
it could
that at
go
concerts
anywhere
here.
around the
Yeah.
stadium. And I used to think when I would see, I'd go, what is that? Why are people doing that? And then when I actually went to a game, I was like, oh, it's because it's so boring that you're just like, you've got to keep yourself entertained.
Just like the wave, when people initiate the wave.
Oh, they try to do the wave too. It's
Yep.
like a bit of everything. So I
Yep.
just, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I never got
but
into
I went,
cricket, but
but it was a member stand. It wasn't quite Skybox, but yeah,
yeah,
it was fun.
cool.